In this video, I'm going to be going over a few coins I recently got back from getting graded. I don't get a lot of coins graded, mostly because I don't think it's worth it most of the time, and I'm perfectly fine having raw coins in my collection. But the few coins I'm going to show in this video, I wanted to get graded for various reasons. And I did get them graded by ANACS, which some people don't like as a grading service, but I don't think their grading's bad at all, and if I had a coin that I wanted a higher grade on or was of more value than these, then I would send it to a company like PCGS or NGC. But this is the first coin here. It is a 1795 Liberty Cap half cent, which is a very, very tough type coin to get. There's not many of these out there, and they go for quite a bit of money, even in low grades like this one. And this one is a 1795 plain edge no pull, which is a more common variety for the type. And then the reverse of the coin is very nice and original brown, exactly what you'd like to see on early copper without any corrosion or damage or anything like that. It does have some more wear in the center than the outside, which is unusual for coins typically, but for a lot of early US coins and early copper, the strikes were a bit of an issue back then, so that is just strike related. And as to what grade I thought this would be, I was guessing it would be an AG details coin because of this streak that's on the obverse. I thought they would call that either a planchet flaw, corrosion, environmental damage, something, but it really isn't too bad, but I thought they would give it a details anyway. But I'm happy to say that it did straight grade an AG3, which is a big win for me because I bought this coin off eBay a year or two ago for $200, and in an AG3 straight grade, I'm going to use Gray Sheet for pricing because it's a lot more accurate than other price guides out there. In an AG3 1795 half cent plain edge no pull, it does Gray Sheet at $300, so it's a pretty good profit on this coin. They also did note the Cohen die variety for the coin, which is a Cohen 6A, which is just a common one, doesn't really add anything or anything, that's just a specific die variety of the coin. So that's a very good thing that it's straight graded. Definitely made me a good profit on this coin if I were to sell it, which I'm not planning on doing anytime soon. That's definitely a big win on that coin. There are 3 coins in the submission. This is the second one, another early copper coin. This one obviously is in very rough condition. It is a 1796 draped bust large cent. They made both Liberty Cap and draped bust large cents in this year. Both are pretty hard to find. 1796 is a pretty tough year. The reason I sent this one in, even though it is extremely damaged and worn, is because of the die variety. It is a Sheldon 113, which is an R5 rarity large cent. The rarity scale basically goes from 1, which is the most common, to I think 7 is the most for large cents. And this is an R5, and there's an estimated 45 to 60 of these coins known to exist, which is obviously a very low number for a coin. The reason I was able to diagnose this variety, even though it's so worn, is a pretty big die break under the 1/7 of the date that extends over here, and that is how I was able to identify it. It's a main identifier for the Sheldon 113, and I was expecting a grade of fair 2 details. I was guessing they would call this scratch, and it's also bent a little bit, as you can see, based on the odd wear of the coin. So I was guessing a fair 2 details grade. We ended up with a poor 1 details, which honestly I would have expected as well. I mean, the coin is extremely worn, so a poor 1 details makes total sense. They just called it bent. They didn't call that scratch in the middle of the coin, which I guess I'm happy with. But the bent, I definitely agree with that. But the main important thing is they did call it the Sheldon 113, which is the reason why I sent it in, because it's a very rare die variety, and it's hard to put a value on it because there's so few known. PCGS has only straight graded 5 of these ever. It's a very rare coin, like I said, only 45 to 60 estimated to exist. So I would value this between $250 and $500 based on auction records I've seen. There was a straight graded G6 coin that sold at auction, I think in 2015 or 2016 or something, and that went for, I believe, $3,000 for a G6 of this variety. So obviously, very rare coin, even though this is in rough shape, still has some decent value to it, and would definitely be great for someone collecting the Sheldon varieties of large cents to fill that tough spot in their collection. One more coin that I sent in. It's the least value of the group, but it is one that I did find in one of my penny hunts. It is a 1984 double die obverse with the doubled ear, one of the major Lincoln cent, memorial cent varieties. And I'd say this is my most valuable find coin we're hunting, but as you'll see later, it's not worth a ton of money. Like some people say, you can find very rare coins in circulation. It's not really too true. You've seen how many boxes I've hunted, hundreds and hundreds of boxes, and this is my most valuable find out of all of them, and I'll tell you the value in a second. I was hoping for an MS62 red brown on this coin, but it does have a little bit of wear, so I was thinking it might grade an AU58, which is what it did grade, an AU58 1984 FS101 DDO, which is the double deer variety. And an AU58, it's probably worth between 40 and 50 bucks. So all those hundreds of boxes hunted, and my best find is only $40 or $50. I'd say it's in competition with my extra leaf quarter that super worn is my most valuable find. That one's also in the $40 to $50 range or so. So you don't really find super valuable coins, or at least I haven't in my hundreds of boxes hunted. Is coin roll hunting worth the time? It's a great question to ask. I'd say it's worth it if you enjoy it, because the finds, you're not going to make a bunch of money on it, of course. But this is still a great find. I only spent 1 cent on it, and it's worth 40, 50 bucks, which is awesome. And those are the only 3 coins of this submission. Overall, I'm very happy with the results. I got pretty much everything I wanted. We got a good win on straight grading that. We got this one certified as a Sheldon 113, and this one certified as a double deer, double die Alvers 1984 cent. So overall, this was definitely a very successful 3-coin submission.